Good afternoon. I pray that your day is going well so far. I was out communing with nature. It's a beautiful day, even though it's a little windy and a little chilly. It was beautiful. I enjoyed the trees. I enjoyed the animals, the squirrels, the deers, and just the scenic view altogether. The peace. An abundance of peace, and I'm thankful for peace and the layers of peace that's in my life. I want to talk about something today. I thank God for this forum that we have, where we can get things off our chest. We can share, you know. We can reach out to each other. Social media is a true blessing. And it's not a blessing in disguise. It is a open blessing. And I'm grateful for it. I didn't use it as much as I in the past that I do now. I guess I was like other people, kind of leery, not really knowing how to navigate. But I'm learning. And the more I learn and the more proficient I become, the better equipped I am, and the more encouragement it gives me to come on the platform and use it. And I try to use it for positivity, for positive reinforcements, or for positive communication. Now, whether you think what I'm doing is positive or not, that's up to you. But my intent is to be positive, and in my heart, I I endeavor to be positive. But anyway, I want to get something off my chest. I want to talk about something. I said I was going to kind of be light today, but I'm not going to. I want to talk about some shit. That's what I want to talk about. Where do I start? I guess I'll just jump in with both feet. I was invited to a party. This is many years ago. I was invited to a party by some of the church upper crust. I'm always leery, or I've grown to become leery about accepting invitations from different people and with different titles in the church for various reasons. But in this particular case, it was a gathering. One of the leaders, he and his wife, they invited people out. They were celebrating some end of the year success with their business. And of course I did go. And so did the pastor, his wife, and some of the other, deacons and what have you, trustees, you name it. But anyway, I went. My husband wasn't able to go because he was off, on another obligation at that time. But I went, and needless to say, I really didn't enjoy myself because I'm not the type of person that talk about people behind their back or in their face. Now, I may say something. I might make I might evaluate a situation, and as a result of evaluating a situation, because it's applicable to something that's affected me, and in my evaluation, I might, judge something a certain way. But just to be talking about people because that's the norm for me, that's not my style, and it never has been. But anyway, I walked around the party, mingled a little bit, and saw, many people from the church and what have you. And they were letting their hair down and having a good time, Some of them a little tipsy, they was nipping, and I don't have a problem with that because we need to be able to enjoy life. I do not have a problem with enjoying life. I don't nip anymore, and I don't smoke weed, and I don't, do no drugs or all that anymore. But I don't have a problem with people who can, use vices responsibly. And if it serves their purpose, it serves their purpose, because that's between them and God, as long as they're not hurting anyone or breaking the law. But anyway, I just happened to walk in the kitchen area for whatever reason, and I saw this particular pastor, his wife, and several other deacons and trustees and whatever, and they were sitting there talking about members of the church, laughing and making fun of people. And they were talking about how some of the women, they were talking about things people wore that was silly and all that. And then they was talking about, one particular woman who, when she got happy, she sounded like she was barking like a dog, and it was bad. And I was taken aback. But I played it cool because that's me. I'm gonna be observant, but I'm gonna be very, 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 very vigilant. So, I was able to get out of that situation. I left earlier than I had anticipated, but I left because I was like, this is not my scene, and I know where y'all coming from, but you have shown me something. So I went home and I shared it with my husband. He and I have different opinions. Sometimes he think I'm over the top with stuff, and sometimes I think he's over the top, and that's okay. But I'm talking about how I view this. So, needless to say, when I got home, I thought about that thing long and hard. And I came to the conclusion. I said, number one, these motherfuckers better not ever invite me to anything, because I will not accept the invitation. Again, that's number one. Number two, I'm like, you showed me who you are. And the congregation has to be just like you, because you're the leadership. You set the tone. You set the standard. So if you did that, and much more, if you thought that I was going to be ingratiated into your circle of bullshit, you was wrong. But that was commonplace. You didn't have any remorse about it. So I know if you did that to those people, I'm going to be safe to say you do it to others, to me and anybody else. But now I want to tell you this. Just who in the actual hell do you think you are talking about somebody? Making fun of somebody. Especially in the position that you are in. You don't think that God sees you and judges you, or you don't even give a damn. That's the problem. That's why people don't want to come to church. No faking. They don't want to fake it. No, we will not fake it until we make it. We calling you out on your shit. You was wrong. And you walk around smiling and kikiing in people's face, and you have talked about them. Now here's the crux of it. There ain't no way you could love somebody. You're ineffective in the position that you're in, because you don't have an ounce of love. You don't. When I say ineffective, I'm saying you have been promoted by man, because I know God ain't put you. You have been promoted to your highest level of incompetence. You have. This is why the church is weak. And this is why the devil is walking in and killing people, taking them hostage, besieging, bum rushing the whole damn church because you sleep on your watch. This is not a corporation. Irrespective of any education, no degrees you have or your dossier, you still may not be qualified to be in a spiritual position because it takes the anointing. And ain't nobody giving out no degrees in that but Jesus. They say, give me that old time religion. Well, the thing is, many of us are steeped in tradition. That's bad enough. Being steeped in tradition is not any different than being hooked on fentanyl. You're addicted to something that's killing you and is ineffective. This is the sad state of the church. You ain't got an ounce of love, and you ain't got no power. You can't do shit for nobody. Most of the time, the only time most people come to church is after they've developed a personality, acquired a few things, got a few coins. Now you want to come to church so you can be worshiped. Not God. We got some problems. Yes, that really upset me. Because I knew the people that they were talking about was fighting. If you ain't gonna get your ass out on the battlefield and fight these demons, get the fuck out the way. The Lord said, you know the way, but you won't go, but you block every damn body else. And then you'll travel all over the world trying to find somebody like you, and then you make them twice as evil as you are. Then you want to get up in the pulpit and beat people up. You become a bully up there. I got news for you. You don't know who you preaching to. Just like you don't know what's in the ocean, you don't know what's out in your congregation. See, just because you use grace to keep somebody from whooping your ass, other people use grace to sleep at night because they suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. And I'm not talking about the military. I'm talking about gangsters who have killed people, who got bodies on their conscience. Couldn't tell nobody. Sitting in the congregation, asking the Lord to help clean them. Psalms 51 to the 15th power. But you come in here with your testimonial card. Yeah, some dudes jumped on me. Who cares? That's like comparing a scraped leg to somebody who's been stabbed 15 times with a machete. Bleeding internally. Need I don't know how many stitches. Can you stitch it up? And the grace of God saved them. and they're humble. But you'll get up in that pulpit and somebody get to messing with your flesh. You start throwing shade and you start going off on people. And you think people can't decipher or discern that you're using the pulpit to bully somebody or to push an agenda, or you're using the pulpit to harass someone. Talking about hiding behind the cross. No, if you don't be careful, God gonna let them Philistines come in there, poke your eyes out, and whoop your ass. You just might catch a bullet because you playing games. That platform is not designed for you to be weaponized against God's people. That platform is to save God's people, to give them refuge, sanctuary. But you operate so much like the world, you think this is a corporation. People serve you because they want to serve you. We have free will. We ain't got to serve you. If you start treating us like a damn dog, we won't serve you. And then you get up there in that pulpit talking about, well, I don't need your money, and talking about people that got money. And you categorize people and you ostracize people. Because people know who you're talking about or who you're referring to. Shit, you might as well just call the names. But you won't do that. Because somebody will get up out that congregation and come up there in that pulpit and whoop your ass. You better quit playing games. But you open up your mouth and you have what you say. God add people to the church that's in a financial position to be able to help you, even though you have some of the most unproductive visions. They still stay true to the cause, which is God. But you drive people away. You drive people away. When you start unplugging, when you take the plug out the bathtub, the water starts going out. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's why I believe so many people have become brazen enough to just walk in and I'm telling you, it's sad. But go off. Because they have been pushed to the brink. Because when you think somebody is there for you and you let your guards down and you trust that person or you trust that organization or you trust that system, and it fails you, or it becomes the enemy, it hit different. That does something to you. It does something to you. You need to think about what you say before you open your mouth. And that's the problem. You ain't got to be a fast-talking preacher. In fact, the Lord says be slow to speak. So why you getting up there trying to go 100 miles an hour with a prayer or with a word? That's why you say stuff you shouldn't, and you can't take it back. You beat people down. And the Lord knew it because he warned us in Matthew 23. He said, you better read this book. You finna come across some real hitters. This is what they look like. And it's amazing because he gave you that analogy thousands of years ago. And it's still applicable, relevant, And the perception has not been tainted. True to the word. Now I'm here to tell you that this era, as we usher in the second coming of Christ, you better recognize something. These end time warriors ain't putting up with that shit. This is the second go round. Read Revelation. We kicking ass and we ain't taking no name. We don't give a damn what your name is. This second go round is kicking ass. Don't be on the wrong side. Who's on the Lord's side? That's my question. Who's on the Lord's side? You better ask yourself that.